It was a shutout performance from round 1 right through to round 12. It was much of the same, except for Conor Benn was able to press the gas a little bit higher and up the tempo in the last round, dropping Eubank. But from round 1, what he did differently this time, he was on his front foot in the centre of the ring, dominating, similar to me when I fought Groves. And I don't...
Before you pack to go back to bed, make sure you shake that motherfucker back.
Hey, should we check his bag now?
Make sure you shake it up and you like step on it and see if there's anything on it.
You know what the funniest shit? I was walking back.
Boy, where's the gun?
I'm over the moon for them. What they've done. Oh, but I believed in them, backed them. Done it. Tonight is a massive night, unbelievable night, one of the best nights you'll see in British boxing, and you've just closed the book on it now completely, because when it's a shutout like that, I don't believe there's any comeback from it. Don't get me wrong, I might be up, but that was just
also
over the moon.
Conor said something in the presser, which now looks, very true. He took his soul in that first fight.
Oh yeah.
When you watch boxing, just shut the up and listen. Yeah, please. Just do me a favor. Just shut your mouth.
It speaks sense.
No. Just shut the up. Nobody wants to hear you. We hear you on TV. We want to hear you when you're not on TV.
I don't give a
I'm never. You know what the Russians do?
I'm never going to.
You know what the Russians do?
The boxing world erupted the moment Conor Benn destroyed Chris Eubank Jr. in their long-awaited rematch, and the reactions have been pouring in ever since. What fans expected to be another close war turned into a one-sided statement from Benn, who not only avenged his previous defeat, but also delivered the most dominant performance of his career. As soon as the final bell rang, the entire boxing community had something to say, and the shockwaves from this clash spread far beyond the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
So Conor Benn has just absolutely battered Chris Eubank Jr., wiped him out. It didn't render him unconscious, but he did flatten him, face first on the canvas in round 12, dropped him twice in a 10-7 round, and on my scorecard he won every round except for, you could argue round 3 went to Chris, but it was a shutout performance from Conor Benn. I knew he was going to put in a performance. I've been speaking to him, I've seen him in the gym, I've been hearing from Tony Sims, his trainer, and a few other people around the campfire. Shout out to Mark Seltzer, aka Lester Diamond.
From the opening round, the energy inside the stadium was electric. But when the bell rang, everything changed. Eubank Jr., who usually carried himself with swagger and bravado, looked unusually cautious. He appeared smaller, drained, and hesitant, as if the weight cut and the strict rehydration clause had taken more out of him than expected. His body language lacked the sharpness he once displayed at higher weight classes. Benn, on the other hand, came in under the jab, attacking early with purpose and intensity. He used quick footwork to move in and out before Eubank could react. This time, there was no drop in pace. Every round showed a new layer of Benn's discipline and maturity.
What happened? Conor Benn literally did what I didn't think he could do. I knew he could win the fight. I picked him to win on points. I thought that it would be a close fight and he'd probably get the nod, because even, politics and all that, I just thought they could set up a trilogy. So if it's close, they give it to Conor Benn. But listen, it wasn't close. My scorecard reads 120-108. Chris Eubank Jr. may have the third round. The Haymaker had that one, so I did it as well with him. But the last round was a 10-7 round, 2 knockdowns. So it was a shutout performance from round 1 right through to round 12. It was much of the same, except for Conor Benn was able to press the gas a little bit higher and up the tempo in the last round, dropping Eubank.
In their first meeting months earlier, Benn had faded in the later rounds, and those mistakes cost him the fight. But the rematch told a completely different story. Even in the first 3 rounds, when Eubank attempted to use his height and reach advantage, Benn managed to slip inside, land solid shots, and exit before absorbing damage. Eubank tried to punish Benn whenever his head moved too far forward, but Benn's speed and timing made it difficult for him to land anything meaningful.
That first fight was a toe-to-toe battle for me and Groves and for Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. This one was Conor Benn taking the centre of the ring, putting Eubank on the back foot. A lot more feints, nice tidy feints. I told him to calm it all down, slow it down, save your energy, and he did. Little feints, little head movements, off to the centre, nice jab, he barely got touched. He like got hit with an odd jab, he got hit with the odd right hand through the middle of the fights as he left his guard down, because sometimes when you're dominating so much, you switch off a little bit, you drop your guard and you end up getting caught with a silly shot, and that's all that happened tonight. He got hit with a handful of silly shots, but he dominated behind the jab. Every time he got close, he worked the body 3 or 4 times. When they came together, he bullied Chris Eubank Jr. in there. He was able to lean on him, push him down.
By the middle rounds, it became clear who controlled the fight. Eubank was forced to clinch often just to avoid Benn's clean combinations. Every time Benn breached the guard, Eubank locked him up, a clear sign that he was struggling to keep up. The tempo was entirely in Benn's hands, and as each round passed, the difference in sharpness grew more obvious. In the 7th round, Benn sensed his opponent slowly breaking down. He dug in powerful shots to the body, targeting Eubank's already weakened frame. These hits weren't just damaging physically, they were breaking Eubank's confidence.
Eddie, redemption for Conor tonight. How are you feeling?
I'm obviously buzzing. It's a big night for us, 2-0 over Queensbury, and of course the Conor Benn victory. But I'm just so pleased for him, because when I say rock bottom, he was done. He was finished. He was financially in a terrible position, but he never stopped trying to prove himself, and he did everything he could to do that. And he's such a good kid with a good heart. Man, he's 29 now, but you know, it's a good lesson to people. When you think there's no way back, just keep the faith like he did, and just keep working hard every day. And look at him now, he's flying. 2 massive fights, secured his financial legacy forever, and now he's on top of the world. Moved back down to 147 and fills stadiums for the world title.
And he's made it clear there's no trilogy.
Doesn't need one. I mean, it was like he won every round there. Eubank was in a terrible way in the end, and you know that I would think that's his lot now, Eubank. But listen, he's a brave man. He's had a great career.
Even when Eubank tried to rally in the 8th round with a few scattered punches, the impact was minimal. His jab, which was normally a reliable weapon, carried almost no power. The years of fighting naturally at a heavier weight showed their consequences, especially when combined with the dehydration from the rehydration restriction. Those who watched closely could see he lacked the strength to push Benn back or stop his momentum.
It was just a complete drubbing, wasn't it? I mean, it was a masterclass performance. I know it wasn't as exciting as the first fight, but that's what he had to do. He just had to stay switched on, be composed, and just, I said, he's much better than Chris Eubank. I mean, the problem was giving away 2 weight classes, and Eubank, I said going into this fight, I think this will be Eubank's last fight, and I truly believe that. I think that last fight would have taken so much out of him. He's a very brave man, and he deserves a lot of credit, but he was just beaten by the much better boxer tonight. I mean, I don't think Frampton gave him a round. I think I gave him 1 round, and obviously if there was 10 seconds left of the fight, he would have stopped him. So massive win for Conor Benn. You know, move back down to 147 now and become world champion there.
The final round changed the atmosphere completely. Benn, knowing he was comfortably ahead, chose violence instead of caution. He exploded forward and landed a shuddering combination that first made Eubank freeze, then collapsed to the canvas with a delayed reaction. The right hand that smashed into the side of his head seemed to shut down his balance. Eubank rose, but his legs betrayed him, and Benn attacked again. Punch after punch came crashing in until Eubank toppled to the ground for the 2nd time. He barely got up before the count, and the only thing that saved him from being stopped was the ringing of the final bell.
You got to give the credit to Conor Benn as well. Like, you know, I don't think I don't want to show disrespect at this point, but I think obviously. Yeah, but I think, as I said, the first fight I think took a lot out of him, and I've always said I don't think Eubank is that good at all, but we're giving up weight and size, so that's the disadvantage. Pound for pound, we're much better. But I just think Conor just sort of grew into the weight, you know, and he was just a younger, fresher fighter. He hit Eubank a lot to the body. In the first round, he hit him with a really big body shot, and you just saw Eubank sort of as if to say, you know, and I think, you know, it was, there were a few reminders in there tonight of what happened last time and how tough that was for him. And listen, respect to Eubank. I mean, he was completely gone in the last round.
When the scores were read, 119 to 107, 118 to 108, and 116 to 110, there was no suspense. Benn had dominated every area of the fight. For him, this wasn't just a rematch, it was a release of years of frustration, especially after the controversy surrounding his failed drug tests in 2022 and the difficult first battle he had lost 7 months prior. He had promised he would be more controlled and clinical this time, and he delivered exactly that version of himself.
As a whole.
A+ for Conor Benn, a magnificent performance. He was brilliant all week. He was fantastic in the fight. and a C-, and congratulations to him, a C- for Chris Eubank Jr., who in retrospect, looking back on it, I mean, I think I was alongside the panel last night on TalkSport, and we felt like we were watching an aging fighter unfolding in front of us, maybe aging overnight during the fight. But I think he's probably had a bad weight cut as well, because he didn't seem to have much power. He didn't seem to have timing. His body gave out on him. He was listless.
As expected, the boxing world reacted instantly. Carl Frampton, known for his straightforward analysis, said it might be time for Eubank Jr. to consider retirement. He pointed out that Eubank looked flat from the first round, and he believed it wasn't about being harsh, it was simply an honest observation. He said, "It was a great performance from Conor, but this might be the time to call it a day for Chris. I'm not trying to be harsh, I'm just being honest." Barry Jones agreed, saying Eubank's lack of explosiveness and the inability to pull the trigger showed signs of wear and tear rather than just a bad night. Both analysts gave credit to Benn, but admitted that Eubank didn't look like the same fighter fans had seen earlier in his career. He said, "I do think it should be the end for Chris. It was evident from round one that he was flat. It could be weight or it could be wear and tear. I think it's the latter. We should give all the credit to Conor Benn, but there were opportunities for Chris to pull the trigger. He didn't throw his punches from round one. He was quite lethargic." Eubank, who typically competes 2 divisions higher, looked drained and diminished, and the rehydration clause had clearly weakened him. The size difference wasn't in his favor anymore. Instead of him being the bigger man, he was the one who seemed worn and depleted by the scale. It was a stark reminder that cutting too much weight can take away everything that makes a fighter dangerous.
He was slothful in there. There was no snap about him. So I think, and also looking at his comments afterwards, like the comments between each other were great. They were both generous and magnanimous in victory and defeat. But I think the weight cut has finally affected him. I'm not sure the last fight took a lot out of him. I think the last weight cut. That's taking nothing away, Matt, from what Conor Benn did. Well, Conor didn't get overexcited. He just kept to his game plan, even though you could see that Chris was finding it hard to find a foothold in the contest. It just wasn't there for him. There were very few moments of success. There were 1 or 2.
While many felt retirement was the right move, not everyone agreed. Derek Chisora, the unpredictable heavyweight known for his bold opinions, had a different take. After the fight, he admitted that he had originally picked Eubank to win, but changed his prediction when he saw both fighters in person. He felt the entire setup and the energy around the matchup suggested the story was written for Ben. Chisora congratulated him and said Ben deserved the victory.
I think it was all written for Conor to win it.
I need a photo.
It was Conor. It was there for Conor to win it. He won it. He dropped him in the last round. You know, I kept on saying, Chris. And then I saw them, and I said, Conor's got it.
Yeah. What? Chris didn't really throw much tonight. What happened to him?
I knew that Conor had it. It was written.
Yeah.
But when it came to Eubank's future, Chisora said he didn't think Eubank should retire at all. He suggested the older fighter take time to enjoy his twins and said whatever Eubank chooses next will be good for him. Chisora didn't offer a specific opponent, but made it clear he believed Eubank still had options.
What do you think's next for Chris?
He can enjoy his twins. And,
should he retire? Should he retire, Derek?
No.
No? Who should we see him fight next?
We don't know yet, but whatever he's doing will be good. Just enjoy his twins now, his kids, and then Conor's won a good fight, so now he can just enjoy his holiday.
This victory also carried a deeper meaning for Ben. The rivalry between their fathers in the 1990s was legendary. That history played into the emotional charge of both 2025 fights. When Ben declared that he had no interest in a trilogy fight, it marked a symbolic closure. His family had finally earned a win over the Eubank name, and he didn't feel another chapter was needed.
He had a different strategy. which actually was better for me. No, I wouldn't say anything surprised me.
As the dust settled, boxing fans reflected on what this fight meant for both men. For Benn, it was his most complete performance in 36 minutes of fighting. It was discipline, aggression, maturity, and heart all blended into one. For Eubank, it was a night filled with questions. Whether it was age, weight, or accumulated wear, something had changed. His body didn't respond the way it used to. Even his famous chin, which had survived wars in the past, struggled under Benn's relentless combinations.
Before you pack to go back to bed, make sure you shake that motherfucker back.
Hey, should we check his bag now?
Make sure you shake it up and you like step on it and see if there's anything on it.
You know what the funniest shit? I was walking back.
Boy, where's the gun?
Still, the reactions from analysts, fighters, and legends showed a mix of respect for Benn's victory and concern for Eubank's future. The boxing world may have erupted in shock, but it also recognized the significance of the moment Benn had finally put together everything he had been working toward since the controversy and defeat years earlier. He redeemed himself, silenced critics, and gave his career a new direction.
Should he retire?
I mean, he's got more important things to worry about. He's one in life with getting his twin boys, so you know, if I was him, I would look at boxing, see what reasons he's boxing for, because ultimately he's a dad of two now, so you know, that's always a priority. And yeah, I think he should obviously look. It's not down to me to say should he retire, should he not retire. That's between him and his team. But he's got bigger things like life happening right now.
With no interest in a trilogy, Benn's path now opens toward new challenges and bigger opportunities. Meanwhile, Eubank faces a crossroads, one that will require honest reflection and a decision about what's left for him inside the ring.
I mean, I scored it 10 rounds to 2 with that last round of 10-7 in terms of rounds, 10 rounds to 2. And the 2 rounds that I gave Chris Eubank were just marginal as well. He won them marginally. I can't remember a dominant round, whereas you look at the highlights of the first fight and he had lots of dominant moments. He certainly was lacking huge amounts of power, skill. Yes, resilience and tenacity showed all the way to the end. He's a very proud fighter. But it doesn't surprise me that some of my colleagues say that they don't think he should step in a ring again, that it's dangerous for him, it's a dangerous sport. But I think that weight cut took it out of his body, and I think finally Eubank Sr.'s words are ringing true.
And that wraps up one of the most explosive chapters in modern British boxing. Conor Benn walked into Tottenham with fire, left with redemption, and sent shockwaves through the entire sport. Chris Eubank Jr. now stands at a crossroads, while Benn's future just opened wider than ever. This rivalry might be over, but the debates, the reactions, and the fallout are only getting started.
3 or 4 rounds in, he wasn't his normal self. And fair play, I think I said it in a video, in the previous video, that Conor Benn can't win that fight. And I think you said, well, how would he beat him? I said, and I think I said this, I might be wrong. I said, well, he'd have to kind of box him for a few rounds, get his measure, and then pile the pressure on later on. And that's really what he did. Fair play to Tony Sims. He played a patient game, Conor Benn, using his jab, nice and smart, didn't get involved, didn't leave himself in the pocket long enough for Eubank to throw the shots. And the shots weren't accurate, but if Benn had been there, they'd have scuffed him somewhere.
If you want to stay locked in with every twist, breakdown, and rivalry that shakes the boxing world, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and join the Ring Rivalry family. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side were you on tonight, and where do both fighters go from here? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next showdown.